Again, we saw a really strong performance coming out from Shopify in that first game. So I'm sure Execration will want to shake that off, throw the punches back, and kind of, play their own game this time around. We'll see how much they get out here. As both sides, good luck coming out. I'm just hoping for Execration we don't see that awkward disconnect, but it does feel like their internet's fixed, so we're probably not going to see that anytime soon. Southeast Asia, every single time. You still have connection issues across the world. Carla saying hi to Abed.
He said hi to Bulba first and then hi to Abed. He's really having a good time. I love
it. Carla.
Oh, quick D-ward. Love that.
A little bit more coming out there for Execration. Just small wins. You take them.
30 seconds to battle.
Alright, I didn't know that was a voice line. That's a good one.
I didn't expect you to be so cool.
They're feeling it on both sides. Not the most aggressive posturing over the runes right now. The level 1s, you can kind of trade back and forth here if you do fully commit. So neither side keen to poke and prod too much. Maybe they find crit though, if he does go for this one.
Yeah, I mean, you can drop the cogs, right? Yeah, Carlo just holding his point. They're just going to clean up the cogs, grab 3 last hits for that Night Stalker instead. You get something out of it, I suppose.
You're going to trade 3 for 1 in the bounties, though, so it feels a little bit better there for Shopify. They still see crit, and Carlos still hasn't leveled anything up. He's being really patient as to see what he wants to do in that lane. And speaking of that lane should still be pretty stable coming out, right? You are expecting Saberlight to just kind of work that lane as best as he can. You do have the early Sunstrike up on Mikey, so he's just going to use it to try to secure the range creep. This matchup mid for Bob and Mikey. Again, it's not something that you'd expect the puck to completely shove the Invoker out. At the same time, the puck should still have enough play to get his own farm going. So Bob just shouldn't get crushed as much as he was last time.
Absolutely. Bottom lane, Tino actually went for a level 1 Kraken Shell to try and reduce some of the damage he's going to be taking from this Shakiro and this DK, which I actually don't hate. Also, if it procs, can get rid of the dual breath burns, so not too bad. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of harassment coming out from the double dragon lane like you were talking about, and I'd have to imagine he's probably going to go like I don't want to say 1-4-4 on this Tidehunter, but probably something close to that.
Yeah, I think that is how you're going to have to go. Just play around Anchor Smash, try to get tankier in lane, go for your early aura item, maybe just a Hood of Defiance in this lane. It's probably going to be a lot of value coming out for Tino. And I mean, with level 1 Kraken to protect yourself, you just don't farm that quick. So you're just going to have to hold a lot of creeps and a lot of EXP back until the level 2 starts to come in, which is something Shopify can use. Like, there's no threat from the lane. It's very passive. Fly can just go for uncontested pulls. And Arteezy's under no threat. He can be left alone for a very long time.
Yeah, especially once you get that second or even third point in the Dragon Blood. I don't know if I see a lot of people in the safe lane Dragon Knight position actually going more than maybe a couple points into the Dragon's Blood, because Breathe Fire helps you farm very fast. And I'm also curious what item build he goes, because we saw a Radiance DK come out the other day from Ramses. Kind of a little lackluster in that game specifically. Not necessarily a bad build, but didn't really work for the game. And I'm curious if he's going to do something similar, or if we're going to see like the Maelstrom, early Manta, or what. So we'll see.
It's open up for Arteezy. Up top, a lot of harassment coming out to Palos. Again, the lanes from Shopify are pretty damn aggressive. You can just go for the cogs, try to run down. The Night Stalker is fairly tanky, but he doesn't really fight back when you are isolated like that. And there's not too much Carlo can do besides just trying to Crystal Nova. You can't really chase down the Clockwork when he does have boots up. So, overall, you have a pretty good lane for Saberlight to just keep farming in. You aren't stopping Palos despite that harassment, though. Like, he is still getting the CS he wants. But you're also not stopping Saberlight. That Dominator time is still going to be on point.
Yeah, I feel like the lane's going to be a little bit passive here for at least a little bit longer, because we're going to need the nighttime for the Night Stalker, and that's when Palos really comes online. And until then, it's like we're gonna, for Shopify, it's like you're gonna be playing off the back of Sunstrike connections, and we don't have stun bottom lane on the DK. We don't have Jakiro with an ice path. There's not a lot like yet for him to play around, so it's like both teams probably just gonna opt to continue trying to farm up as best as they can right now.
Let's play it safe, build up, get
boy,
the levels up.
He's making his rotation to the mid lane, trying to deny the water rune, and he does get it. So taking that away from Bob is actually pretty big. He even sends the Forge Spirit top to protect it, as Crit's gonna get the other.
He's fully topped up. You don't need it on Mikey, so Clockwork gets to just rotate back up top with pretty healthy HP and mana to spam with his spells.
The Sunstrike finally comes out bottom.
As indeed. I am
There
first
it
at
is.
everything.
Sorry, go ahead.
They've got it. They've got the aggression, and you have decent enough levels now with the X-Sword that it does really hurt. And this bot lane for Execration, again, it's slow. It's expected to be slow, but it doesn't feel good to be slow. Like the DK farm, once it kicks in, like even with like say a fast Midas for Arteezy here, it gets pretty scary. Like, you just won't be able to stop him. And that's where the beauty of that DK comes out. It's just such a stable laner that you could leave it alone. We could see Fly maybe start to make some stacks, maybe Crit make some stacks as well to rack up that farming down the line. Nighttime's up though.
Yep. And then try to just turn on the aggression right away as Crit in some danger, but Paulo's taking a lot of damage from this Beastmaster. He's got a stick, doesn't want to use it. Instead, Paulos will survive, ends up getting the Void there to finish off Crit as well, and another Frostbite here to slow him down. Paulos looking for the board here. Catches it, but gets bonked by the catapult instead.
That's a really aggressive play coming out from Execration. That is something that I feel like Paulus tends to do sometimes, and the punishment is pretty severe. Yeah, you had no actual threat onto Saberlight, and sure, killing the boar is nice. It's definitely not worth your life.
Uh-oh, bottom lane. Sunstrike into the cogs. That'll work. Yeah, so Saberlight will go ahead and get dove to the top lane as well here, as Paulos does come back with full HP, full mana. So here's one of the things about that death from Paulos is it might have been intentional. It's one of those things where it's like it hit nighttime. He was already pretty low on resources. He gets like the free trip back to base, his TP back out, buys a salve. He had already spent his money. Like, it actually isn't a bad death, right?
Yeah. This might be for Mikey.
Yeah, it could be, but the rotation's in very quickly from the supports, and Mikey's gonna be just fine, as he's going straight for his Midas as well. Doesn't even bother with the boots. He's about 490 gold away. He's off to a great start. Saberlight managed to find a kill top lane there on the Crystal Maiden, but he gets Roar actually just in time. They have the Sunstrike to follow it up. Saberlight, okay, I take everything back about what I said about that first death, because Saberlight got level 6 off.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Like the reset, sure, it makes sense in context. That's probably what Paulus was doing, but the EXP onto the Beastmaster, it's a little bit much to feed away. And with that key timing, you know, your first night already feels like a big mixed bag here for the side of Execration. Your first Dream Coil use for Bob, not the best. He does have it off cooldown, but you don't really have a hero to tie into that Dream Coil here. No one's ready to be aggressive, even Palos. He has the levels. He doesn't have 6 for the Dark Ascension, which also holds him back. And I think you're in a comfy spot for Shopify. You're just building this farm up. Arteezy still has a free lane. Saberlight already has the full Dominator flying out, so the push can start to rack up rather soon. And Execration, well, they'll try.
They're going to try for sure and see if they can actually bring down Arteezy. He does pop the Dragon Form for that extra move speed, and Crit's going to come in as well. And he's just so damn slow as they will to be able to finish the chase underneath the tower, and Crit will be able to help as much as he had wanted. Top lane, though, they're going to get aggressive here on the Carlo. The TP in from the Tidehunter, not quite level 6. That Sunstrike comes through to secure the kill, is now... I don't know. Like, it's gonna take a while to kill this Tide Hunter. He's got 2 points Kraken Shell, but they're gonna get him eventually. He's got level 3 in the board. Well, never mind. A coil turnaround from Bob. The ice path is there. Tino's still trying to survive. He just throws the roar out. He's sick and tired of it. Saberlight still managed to survive. A nice illusion rune there from Bob. Telekinesis will pull him back, and Saberlight does go down. A Sunstrike is there to secure another kill for Mikey. As now Fly is starting to fall low, but Bob needs to be careful. These summons are scary here from this Beastmaster, and they will find the puck. We'll get the silence there, unfortunately, off the mark of the Hadouken. 3-1 charges, does have an ice path. He's going to throw it out. It connects the puck.
Oh!
Down. He's gone. He ends up finding him.
Oh no. Execration, and they're playing tag for such a long time, but the output it's just not high enough. They lose their mid on top of this movement as well. Like Shopify, their early game, again kicking into high gear. Well, Mikey is he's gotten so much value from just going Quasic Sword. Like, with all the setup in your side lanes, with a roar on top, I mean, you have such a free time and just looking for these global kills. And Execration, and they finally pick up this Meteor Hammer on Tino, but he's gonna have 6 soon. They can try to apply pressure in the towers, but it doesn't feel like you're ready on your Night Stalker or your Tide, and you're not remotely ready to take any of these big engagements right now. And the top gone, your map is starting to shrink a bit here.
I mean, that top engagement turned into 2 Sunstrike kills for Mikey, a Midas usage, and a tower, and probably 2 full creep waves in mid lane. Like, his net worth went from, I want to say, around like 4,300 to over 5K in that 1 minute period. Like, he just farmed so massively in that time frame because he didn't have a lane partner at all. Like, no one was laning against him, and then he gets 2 free kills without even having to show up. Like, it's absolutely nuts how much he got out of that engagement.
You got way too
without
much out
even
of
being
it.
there.
Yeah, it's just too much that Mikey gets.
Oh,
hey, you do at least clear out some.
And some trouble. Oh, they have an invisible. They have a sentry though already placed. Oh no! Does manage to juke out for the moment, and Crit does not manage to catch the cog, but a nice fight breaking out top lane as well.
Yeah, they kill off Palos. They manage to still run him down, and you're just not ready to be aggressive here.
Telekinesis will build a pull him under the towers. They will trade for Crit here, which is nice, but it seems like you have this unstoppable Beastmaster in top lane right now. I don't know who can actually play against him in the lane. Like, they tried to turn the Night Stalker into him, and he gets Roar Macro Pyred instead.
It's not there. You don't even have the solution to the Dominator creep. The Shard is not something you'd want to necessarily rush in your Pause 1. So it's going to be a while until Palos has something like that to just take care of these pesky creep armies that Saberlight just keeps bringing out. And Execration, well, Tino is being jumped now.
Yep, they're going to try once again. I mean, they have a Sunstrike, obviously, if they want to use it. Even to just bring Mikey to the bottom lane. I mean, he's got the right-click damage instead. And Carlo looks like he should be safe. But Artur will get to work on this tower as soon as he's also got the money for his Midas.
They're hitting their strides here. Shopify Rebellion and Execration. I mean, their tempo still can come out. Palos is trying to rush this Radiant and the Night Stalker, which it is a good item, a Night Stalker. The timing also doesn't look like it's going to be all too bad, but it just feels like your Night Stalker can't play early because of that. You know, like something like Echo Saber, you're going to be online faster. You run down heroes. Bob will try here.
The question is, can they actually finish him off? He's falling super low. Does have the roar, but nice telekinesis into the coil snap. Good play there from Shank. So they do find the kill. As Arteezy rotates up to the top side of the map, trying to find something here. They've got the slows here on the Palos. No Dragon Tail for a few more seconds, as that did get dodged out. So no way to continue the chase. I think force a response here from Shopify, which is quite nice, and kill the Beastmaster. That is good stuff.
You're getting some room out to get at least some farm onto Tino. So your Tide Hunter is pushing down bot with a Meteor Hammer. Tower should fall. You're equalizing with the map just a little bit. The vision game from Shopify is way too good though. Like, their wards are giving so much vision. Their hawks from Saberlight are big. They missed the hook. I don't think it matters too much. You're probably not missing out too much on that kill. A little bit optimistic to try to Night Stalker down with a puck around. So, the one thing that Execration doesn't have a grasp on is that vision game. Like, you just can't match a Beastmaster plus Clockwork and these wards coming out. They don't spot them. So Shopify Rebellion can just keep being aggressive. You know, keep hunting down, keep trying to punish when the opportunity presents itself.
I will say I am impressed by Execration having like stemmed the bleeding here a little bit, because I mean they were behind what 4,000 gold a couple minutes ago. They've managed to kind of stabilize and even things out, and that is up against a double Midas here. That being said, it's daytime, so it might get a little bit worse here before it gets better, because you're still pretty far from that Radiance here on Palos. And that's going to be like the moment when this Night Stalker kind of starts becoming a factor in this game, but until then, I think he's more of a liability. Meanwhile, a nice hook shot into the Dragon Tail will find the Rubik. Beautifully done.
He really didn't want to have to lose out on Shanks. He had a pretty nice stolen spell. He had the Dragon Tail on hand. It's probably really easy to steal anyway, to be fair. But without the Rubik, you don't really want to force anything out. You know, just these pickoffs from Shopify make it awkward for Execration to feel like they can mount any sort of movement out. Like, the respawns are quick, but
there's the roar. They've caught follows. The follow-up Sunstrike Stomp as well. There's just so much global threats, right? Like, just from a Sunstrike. He's almost max Exort already.
yeah, it's just one of those games where it really, really shines. And now, off the back of that big kill, even though it's nighttime, they can go into the Roche. Respawn is short, but the clear for Roshan is pretty damn quick as well.
Yeah.
Execration can't get there in time. Tino's not even trying to walk up.
The scan and response here from Shopify is know exactly what's going on, and Saberlight trying to scout things out here with the summons, but doesn't seem to be worried all that much. All right. I mean, it's a 6K goalie. Oh, nice telekinesis. Will catch Beastmaster here in the mid lane as they drop the freezing field as well. Hook shot will catch the puck. There's a nice path to stop Carlo on the backside from channeling that up, and Bob will be just fine here on the puck as well. So that's a good pickoff once again, being able to find the Beastmaster.
They're just getting some punishment out. I mean, you still lost the Aegis, but you're finding something in exchange. You're getting this farm up onto Tino. His pipe is almost done. That should help him sustain through a lot of his magical output, although
he does it again. The Madman crit. They pop the Dark Ascension. Night Stalker will be able to find himself a nice kill. Instead, Artisa turns his attention over to the Rubik. Gets that kill. Really smart. Otherwise, you know, he just steals that Dragon Tail. And now they turn around on to Jakiro, unable to survive this for now. Bob, though, taking a lot of damage here from the DK. As Saberlight's just going to walk on over, help secure it. And Arteezy just blinks on over, stuns up the Night Stalker. Instead, it's a triple kill for Arteezy. Dude, so much money just going his way off the back of this.
yeah, they play hyper-aggressive there on Execration. They just keep running around, and the weirdest thing is this is space for, of all people, Tino. That's the Ravage, but Meteor Hammer doesn't connect.
I mean, that's just a defensive Ravage, right? Like, he just dies to the Invoker if he doesn't do that.
It's not a great feeling right now for Execration. Like, they are trying to play fast. They understand their draft goes quick, but for Tino to be the one soaking up the space, it doesn't feel ideal. Like, yes, the pipe is going to be huge value, but is it really worth sacrificing your pause 1 and pause 2 for that? It doesn't feel like it should be worth it.
Speaking of Tino, might be in trouble. Instead, Arteezy with the blink, the stun, he catches the puck, and the Sunstrike is there. Nice Meteor Hammer onto 2 and a huge freezing field. Here comes Fly, though. The Ice Path onto 2. The macro gets dropped. Stolen macro there from Shanks. Throws it back the other way. The hook shot from Crit will catch the Rubik onto the backside. The Cog's likely to follow. Doesn't even need to use them. Finds the kill anyway. Arteezy wants to go for more. He's got a blink dagger. He's looking for an opening, but decides maybe I shouldn't die at tier 3.
Yeah, you know what? You don't need to. You don't have the Aegis. Unfortunately, Mikey has that privilege, so can't really go too ham here, but They clear out the top objective. They're going to be able to cut through mid just a little bit, cut the creep waves down. They still have a lot of time left on the Aegis as well. A good 2 minutes left. And Palace is inching towards the Radiance. He's got the full gold for it now. So there's
There
that
it
big
is.
timing. But this is just Phase Boots Radiance Night Stalker. And at this point, I think you really want the BKB to be able to stand up front here, but you're nowhere close to that. You're nowhere close near your blink as well. Oh. Even with a Radiance, you're just a sitting duck if all the spells are committed onto you.
He needs the shard. Like, you actually have to have shard on Night Stalker, which is actually such a problem too. So he needs to get the shard, then BKB. One of the biggest problems with the Night Stalker right now is ideally you want this Radiance as close to that 15-minute mark as possible, so you get that full 5 minutes of farming with this Radiance during that nighttime. But he has 1 minute left. You know, it is a really rough timing. I don't know if it's going to be enough for him to bounce back, but he needs a lot more gold. So they need to make a lot of space for this Night Stalker.
Tower is under attack.
You need to keep stalling. I mean, you say make space for Palos, but Palos keeps joining in these fights as well. And it's Tino who eats up that space. He has the full pipe, so maybe he's more willing to fight now.
They have a ward sentry kind of revealing everything.
Rock it on.
Look at the aggressive vision here, but in front and behind the tower.
Dire's bottom
Harlow
tower
will
is
go
under
for the D
attack.
ward and will be able to grab
Radiant's
that.
top tower is under attack.
As Arteezy just says, I'm tired of this, pops the DK form, gets to work here on this tower. Dude, combined with Alacrity, Yasha, and the Beastmaster Aura, he is attacking so fast.
Dire's
just
middle
buffed up
tower has fallen.
way too much. His output's pretty decent now as well. Like, with just the Elder Dragon form at level 2, he's active. And Execration's down to just 1 outer tower. Like, their timings, it just feels way off. They're 9k behind. The shard for Palos is going to be coming out soon. Nighttime is down. You do have Dark Ascension, but how do you actually start these fights on Execration? You have no one that really jumps the backline outside of Bob. No one's going to be able to follow through from him until the blinks are up. And those blinks are just a pipe dream at the moment. You just need so much more on Palos. And Tino, I'm not sure if he even wants to rush the blink right after this pipe now. It just feels dicey for Execration. And their lineup can still fight back. We have seen some decent stolen spells from Shanks, but for the most part, Shopify are dodging, getting pickoffs, going back to farm, going for objectives after a pickoff. Like, they were just so disciplined. And it's just back to that point as well. Like, the vision game from everything, from their really good ward positions, from their hawks, from the flares. It is oppressive to be on Execration, not knowing where anyone is, while Shopify has all this information on their hands.
Well, you know, I did talk about it earlier. The Manta style for the Dragon Knight, it is done. This is one of, in my opinion, the best possible items you can get on this hero. And it queues up the Aghanim Scepter immediately after that. So, it's going to be very strong. Crit running around with a gem now too, so that vision game going to get more and more difficult here for Execration as it goes on. They're going to smoke as DK form. Still only level 2 though. Looking for his connections, but top lane. I mean, if they find Palos, it'd be absolutely huge right now. But he is doing a good job at hiding in the trees. The problem is his day vision is terrible. So, see if they find him. They got vision of him for a second. They know exactly where he is. And Arteezy goes in, gets the stun, the ice path, the follow crit. Gonna try and offer some assistance. They don't even bother with the sunstrike. They find the kill. He will go down crit. Unable to find the secondary, but that's the opening you want, right? You need to, like, we're talking about how important it is that he finds space right now, but Shopify's not giving him that space.
They're not stopping this aggression either.
Yeah, off the mark with the meatball tornado there, but Mikey gets the help from the hook shot, and just the right-click damage from the Invoker will be enough.
Cleaning up, Shopify. Probably just gonna wait for the next Roche. It's only a few seconds away until we see that respawn timer, and then if they can secure it safely, which it does look like they should be able to, the high ground really opens up. You are still inching towards this timing for Execration. Tino's blink is going to be up sooner rather than later, so we'll have some play options, queuing up the shard as well for the follow-up stun. Like, there is team fight in Execration once that's up. But, I don't know, man. Like, even Carlo being at level 10 is pretty painful. Although...
Fight breaking out on the top side. There's going to be a nice Ravage connecting, but RTZ gets the stun onto the Night Stalker. The question is, can they get Mikey to BKB in? The response, the Roar turns onto the Night Stalker. The meatballs dropped on top as well. Paulo's trying to make his way into the base. He will be able to, but Carlo not as lucky. Meteor Hammer does drop there, stunning up to the DK. Starting to fall a little bit low here. The EMP doing some work. A nice 2-hero tornado will be able to finish off that Night Stalker, but the question is, can Tino make his way back into the base? He's really trying. Blink Dragon Tail to the high ground. He looks for Shanks instead. He's like, we can get this one for ease. And Tino won't be able to survive. Mikey with a triple kill. The Sunstrike, whew, almost on the mark there. Bob will barely make it back into the base, but Execration, man. It was such a good fight, too. You see them get the Ravage, they get the opening that they want, they get the Meteor Hammers even, but they're just too many items behind, it seems.
Yeah, they're way too behind to try and play like this. Like, if they had at least one BKB up and running, or if they had Paulos's BKB, then maybe these plays wouldn't go as awkwardly, but it's just so far away. Like, his game just went off to such a slow start. All the space went to Tino instead. And even Tino's Blink isn't up. And again, just back to these supports. Like, your combination right now is actually just Ravage, Dream Coil, along with Freezing Field. But Carlo's still a long way away from his 12. Like, it feels like it's going to take him forever to find EXP to hit that level 2 mark in Freezing Field.
They've got Night Stalker again. Blink Dragon Tail, the DD on Arthur. He just gets absolutely evaporated. A nice hook shot in from Crit. Using the last bit of his mana to block off Shanks, as that will be able to hold him off, and a nice Ice Path is there as well. I was going to say it's the Gaben code where, you know, if a DD spawns, I mean, Roche is also spawning, but they don't care. They just want to dive for more, as Arteezy is way too deep into the base right now. There's no Ravage, but they've got a Coil, and he is just dead. What? Not invulnerable, my friend. You do not have that BKB available quite yet. It was on his courier. Just not quite yet delivered, and now you've got to get out.
Yeah. Good punishment out from Exo. Hold on.
Yeah. You lose the puck anyway. They chase just a little bit too far to try and push them back. Doesn't end up working.
There's that
Arlo,
BKB.
I mean, they've got the Hawk, man.
Oh,
it's
God.
so good. Just giving so much vision. The meatball onto the Ice Path. Arlo's gonna burn. Tino lets the Ravage rip, and Paulos, he's gonna start burning these heroes. But Mikey pops the BKB, gonna start running away. There's gonna be a nice roar. The EMP, the Sunstrike. Paulos, can he survive? He gets the stick. He's gonna be able to survive thanks to the Hunter as well. The Devour giving him so much extra HP as they will pick off Saberlight. A really good hold from Execration. It does cause you 2 buybacks. You manage to get the Beastmaster, you manage to get the Dragon Knight, and you don't lose your base. I mean, could they go Roche?
They could. They definitely could. I don't know if they clear it fast enough with how short the respawns are. Like, Arteezy's already back up. Your
Radiant's
cooldowns in
middle
Invoker
tower is
aren't too
under
long,
attack.
so you can just constantly scout there as well, despite the lack of Hawks, and you've got the flares. I don't think Execration takes that objective fast enough for them to even attempt. You're just gonna have to try to regroup and try to farm up a little bit more, hit these timings, and try to go for that same fight. Like, the BKB is only the recipe away for Palos. That is one thing that can change the game if that timing still comes out here for the defense.
Right, well, see what they can do. Beastmaster respawning soon bottom lane. Mikey just solo kills off Paulos.
God.
And he's gone. He'll be out in the trees. He is 11-0 right now. 11-0-9 on this Invoker as he gets his level 20 talent. So if you thought these Chaos Meteors were doing a lot of damage before, it's going to get a lot worse. 80% bonus damage combined with the Shard. Good luck.
It's gonna melt them. They're already melting it to it anyway, as we've seen from the Ice Path combination. And now it's Shopify that can go for the Roche themselves. Like, you know, there's no big threat coming out from Execration. And the Ravage is down for a little bit longer here. 40 seconds, more than enough time to safely clear out the Roche. Roche number 2 with a Shard. And a free Shard onto Saberlight would feel pretty amazing. Just Hawk Dives are going to be good. Maybe Arteezy just takes it for the Fireball, though.
There's so many good ones.
Don't need to farm anymore. Liquid Frost is nice as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you have Liquid Frost too, huh? Yeah, like, if you really want high ground siege, you go for the Liquid Frost, but Saberlight might just take it for the cooldown reduction. The hook shot perfectly
hook
timed
shot.
from Crit! No way! He's got him! Oh, and yeah, another DD rune. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Mikey is soloing Palos again. I mean, he's trying. He's almost got him. They're going to continue to chase here, but there's going to be the Dark Ascension. They don't have detection. There is Shanks with the nice telekinesis, and the dust will come through. He gets ahead. The Macropyre is there. The Ravage connects as well. The stolen Macropyre out from Shanks. They finally burn down the Invoker. A massive gold bounty going the way of this Night Stalker, but the rest of Shopify is here, man. They've done the Roshan. They've got some new targets in mind. Aurora on the Carlo. Lock him down long enough for them to just take him in. The Fireball is now looking for more. Easy. Won't be able to catch the blink, but they do catch Palos in the skies, and the Dragon Tail is there. Can he get away? He has to pop this BKB. Now they turn it around. Maybe they can find this Aegis, but he just seems so damn tanky here on the DK. Oh, nice play from Bob here, finishing off Fly. Okay, snipes the backline. This is huge. You have the hero advantage now. It is 3v4. You have an Aegis, but Crit falling incredibly low as well. Trying to TP on out. The BKB out from Arteezy into the Dragon Tail, onto the Night Stalker. Can he get the kill? He does. You lose the gem onto the ground. You're going to buy back now on Crit to get back into this game. Tino is super hard to deal with. There's going to be a Night Tendrils into the Meteor Hammer. They're starting to burn on the side of Shopify as Saberlight, the next target inside, and they get him. Shanks, he's just got so much control as Arteezy's just going to leave. Okay, they let him go. They see the Invoker respawning. There's no more time left.
Man, what a back and forth. Execration still finding some openings to fight into. Guess they lose Palos, but they make it work somehow. They dance around. The investment in Tino now is starting to really pay off. We're starting to see how much he can do with the chain stuns. And of course, Shanks, whenever you get the Dragon Tail, you feel pretty good in that Rubik. It's such a straightforward spell. You've got the added range from your Arcane Supremacy and the Aether Lens to basically feel like you're in dragon form launching that, and you don't throw it out as a projectile when you're Rubik, right? Like, this is a ranged instant stun. So it's massive for Shanks to just hold on to that spell as long as he can and just try to make plays off. Granted, Execration, I mean, they're still 14k behind, Ricky. Yeah, you're still at 20k net worth for Arteezy, 7k above the next two cores of the side of Execration.
He's about to have Axe,
not
too.
the worst thing in the world.
That's the scariest thing, is going to be the DK Axe, right? He's going to Midas this Catapult. He has an Aghanim Scepter of the Secret Shop if he wants it. And now you're going to be dealing with the Manta Split, you know, Black Dragon, which you can't really deal with very well. So we'll see what they can come up with on an Execration to maybe handle that. But he's still got an Aegis for 2 more minutes as well.
The look on your face.
Had a lot of time on it. And I don't know if you can pull that same defense off again for Execration. They might be able to. It's a lot harder, but everyone's up, Ravage is up. You might be able to find a better position to get that Ravage off and just have the control come in, but dealing with Arteezy with the Alacrity up, with the Ancient Black Dragon, I don't know about that.
Yeah, this is when things get very difficult. Again, the Manta Split just makes it really hard. They actually get vision of Bob for a moment, so they know this smoke wraparound was coming. As he's scouting in the trees as well, looking for a Night Stalker, looking for anyone hiding behind him. It's a deep wraparound. I mean, we see Palos and Tino trying to see if they can get onto the backside. The mid lane engagement, Rubik's just dead immediately, but the Ravage connects onto them. They drop the Meteor Hammers, but the BKB's out for the Dragon Knight, and Saberlight trying to hobble away. He's going to survive for now, but Palos finally beats him down. The question is, can Execration get more? You've still got Mikey, you've still got this Dragon Knight available. Carlo stuck in the danger zone right now as he's going to fall, and DK will just hold this Tidehunter at bay as Palos trying to make his way out as well. He will survive, a nice hook shot from Crit. The push back into the Sunstrike. Tino, he's gone, man. No way he can get back to the base this time. Double kill for Mikey as the Rax begins to fall. The Alacrity onto the DK as he goes mid. He's going to clean this one up very quick. You're going to buy back now onto the Tidehunter. Very tanky boy. Does make it very difficult. But, I mean, the Meatball, the Deafening Blast, he can't remove those. They do get a nice tendrils once again into the meteor hammer, but Tino needs to die. He can't afford to die here. He needs to get back. Bob also starting to burn down, but Arteezy, he's just focusing on the racks, man. He's got this alacrity run and trying to get these things down before Rubik comes back up and does have the Aegis another 15 seconds. Oh, the blink at the last second. It's time to leave.
A very disciplined and Shopify Rebellion. Only a few seconds on the Aegis. It could be a little bit dicey in trying to get that secondary life, considering how slow it takes Execration to kill off. Although,
well, they got Crystal Maiden, the fake back, the Aegis regen, topping him off. They did not expect him to just walk back in. And that being said, Arteezy falling very low, ends up being forced to BKB. They can try and turn it here onto the Tidehunter. This would be a dieback for him, but instead, they will respect Execration's high ground and back away, seemingly for real this time.
still in a position, a really aggressive position, though, for a flank here.
They weren't scouting it, though. They know. They did get this nice ward on the, or they have this nice ward on the high ground, but I mean the DK Dragon, man, it just walks onto your high ground and it just causes so much problems. But you can't ignore them.
Yeah, no care in the world for Arteezy once he's up there, and he's also going for the Octarine, so the numbers on this is just ridiculous. Once you start to stack up some cooldown reduction on that Elder Dragon form, it's almost like 50% uptime, maybe a little bit more actually. So you're
it's already
constantly in that
uptime,
yeah, like you're gonna be a lot closer to like 20-second downtime, I think.
Yeah.
Execration are gonna try to smoke play out here.
They are. They drop a ward. It will scout, but Carlos just jumps in, managed to get on top of the Beastmaster. He's stuck in a really bad spot, but the Hex just burns and Carlos goes down. He's got no help. The nice freezing build from Carlo, but the roar's there from Saberlight, and now the rest of the team's got to get out. They drop the coil, try and make some spaces. Bob on the backside, trying to finish off Fly, does get the Waning Rift. Wait, no, a hook shot from Crit, but a nice Aeon Disc will protect him, but the Dragon Tail to follow the Hex as well. They've got him. 2 are dead. The buyback from the Crystal Maiden. It doesn't seem like it's going to matter. That is going to be the GGs as Mikey finishes the game with a triple kill.
Massive win for the side of Shopify, helping them to cement their position in the upper half here in Group A. As we mentioned before this series started, like a 2-0 here.